What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode, Jammin with J Money, man. We back. It's Monday. It's Labor Day. We ready to get to some money, man. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Everybody back. If you watching, I'm sure, hey, you still living and breathing. So, hey, life is good, man. Life is good. Glad to be back with you guys, man. What's up, Jordan? Today we're gonna break down these NBA games and recap the games that happened this weekend, man. To my guy Jordan Sharp and it's my guy Junior Browne. What's up, brothers? Everything good with you, Jordan? How was your weekend?
Yeah, good, pretty good weekend. I'll backtrack to when I was last on the show on Friday. Went 2-1. Missed the first half under on that Houston's Lakers game, but got the second half, or got the full game. Excuse me. Ended up cashing with Houston on that one. Then Saturday went 1-1. Hit the under on that first game between Toronto and Boston, and then had the over on the second game and lost that pretty badly. So 1-1. Not a bad 2 days though. I didn't have a play yesterday. One thing I did learn yesterday, which I am very shocked that I actually am about to say this. But it was muttered sometime, and I didn't believe it. But the Lakers' offense runs better with Rajon Rondo on the court, and they made some pretty keen adjustments yesterday in that game that I watched, including getting Anthony Davis open in a variety of ways where he's not guarded by PJ Tucker. Imagine that. Frank Vogel coming to life, Lakers winning that game. I thought that was an excellent one. I didn't see that Milwaukee-Miami game, but man, Milwaukee's staying alive. But I think it's probably just a little too late for them. They are not going to win this series, regardless of what happened yesterday.
Got you. What's up, Junior? Everything good with you, brother? How was your weekend?
It was good. I had no plays yesterday. Bunch of family in town. I was just kind of my mind wasn't into making picks. Like you always say on the show, it's not good to force anything. So I didn't really have any plays yesterday. On the show on Saturday, I had Raptors money line first quarter, which they hit. Dinosaurs are not scared of leprechauns, so we'll see what happens. It's a best of three now. In terms of the Lakers. Anthony Davis finally got his ass in the post and just went to work. It's pretty simple. But the Lakers did run a lot. We thought that it wouldn't be a good idea for the Lakers to run with the Rockets, but early on, they ran the ball down their throats, have outscored them 16-2 in fast break points, and I know the Rockets made a comeback in the second half, but like I said, they just kept feeding Anthony Davis down low, and he came to play. If Anthony Davis comes to play, the Lakers are one of the best teams in the NBA, obviously.
Got you. Yeah, Toronto get the win over there on the Celtics, 100-93. Their series tied up now, and the Nuggets, man, they get one over on the Clippers. Man, that was crazy. 110-101. They came out there and smacked them after the first quarter, 44-25. It was never really a game after that. Surprising to see the championship favorite, the Clippers team, one of the best defensive teams in the league, give them 44 points to the Nuggets in the first quarter. We know the Clippers have been one of the worst first quarter teams, but still, that was just, I mean, we saw the Clippers just kind of if they're not really motivated, they kind of come out there with a lackluster effort, and they tried to come back, cut it down to 7, but it was too late. It was too late. We know when you have a lead like that, all you got to do is hit a couple more threes, get it back up to 10, 13. That's exactly what the Nuggets did. Took off on them boys. Jokic had 26 points, 18 rebounds, and I know Jamal Murray thought a lot of people thought he was going to be shut down, but he ended up getting 27. It was really to lead the team in scoring. He was the main catalyst for the Nuggets in that game. They couldn't seem to stop him. He was getting fouling ones. Kawhi PG did a good job on the first game, but the game two, he cooked them boys, and Jokic did as well. Be interesting to see today. Jokic is questionable with a right wrist injury, but I want to ask you, Jordan, what did you think about that game? Nobody thought that the Nuggets would get it done to get the win over the Clippers. There, a lot of people thought it was going to be an easy sweep.
No, I don't know who was saying that, but I get it. People talk a lot, but yeah, I mean the Nuggets, they like I said, they sprung on the Clippers, and not only that, but they played excellent defense through all four quarters, which is not something we could say for them a lot during these playoffs or this bubble at all. To hold a team like LA down like that in a primetime Saturday night slot like that was definitely impressive. You're right. A little concerning. Jokic is banged up. I think he'll play, obviously, but if he's less than 100%, that is a little concerning. But Denver has kind of been that team that kind of you start to count them out, right, and then they kind of prove you wrong and prove everybody wrong and take your money. And that's I think what happened Saturday. So it's definitely not going to be actively betting against them, I think, in this full game spread today. But I'm very interested to see what you guys have to say about this one here today.
Got you, Junior. What did you think about that Nuggets game versus the Clippers on Saturday? They surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, they did. You made mention of some. Jamal Murray came to play, and Kawhi and Paul George had a rough time staying with him. We talk about basketball all the time, Jane. You talk about you're a defender. as someone who plays good defense, when you're guarding a guy that's a lot shorter than you, his center of gravity gives him his lower center of gravity kind of gives him the advantage where he can get by you off the dribble in a way that a taller guy usually can't. But if that guy that has a lower center of gravity can't shoot outside shots, you could back up off of him, and that kind of equalizes. Because Jamal Murray can knock down shots, now Kawhi and Paul George kind of have a problem where they got to back off him a little bit because he's quicker than them. But when he's knocking down shots, it's going to be a problem. The Clippers really, really need Pat Bev to play today. He's played 27, 28 minutes total in the first 2 games. He's going to have to D up Jamal Murray today.
Yeah, and Patrick Beverly is on a limits restriction as well. We know he's coming back from the, I think it was injured calf. Something like that, you know what I'm saying, kind of be lingering. So they kind of taking it easy with him. But the fact that he's in there should help. Be interesting to see. And yesterday, the Bucks to come all the way back and take it's kind of crazy because once Giannis went down, which he did have, 19 points in 12 minutes. And then the Bucks, it seemed like when Giannis went out, the Heat didn't have a game plan it's pretty much game planning around Giannis. And when he went out, it kind of seemed like the role players kind of stepped up. DiVincenzo started the second half there. Be interesting to see what happens in this next game. I will tell you, Giannis is probably most likely not playing. So that second half, that's the Bucks that you're going to get, you know what I'm saying, for this game 5. Be real interesting to see. We'll talk about that game. Like the game went to overtime too. So if you had the under, I feel for you there. I'm sure you guys see the bubble isn't like regular, you know what I'm saying, like the regular NBA. So it was pretty crazy there game yesterday. And if DiVincenzo hit the free throw there, hit both free throws, then it would have stayed under as well. So that was pretty crazy. And the Rockets, man, that was a crazy game. They got outscored 36-20 in the first quarter. They were down 21 in the first half. Then they come out in the third quarter, outscored the Lakers 41-23, making the game. They took the lead, a 5-point lead. I think it was 95-90 in the fourth quarter. Blew my mind, man. I said if the Lakers lose this one, it's going to be crazy, guys. You got to talk about this one. But then the Lakers going to outscore them 27-17 in the fourth quarter, and they actually end up covering the spread as well. So you live bettors, man, you could have got all type of stuff yesterday with the Rockets plus, then you could have got the Lakers plus money, you know what I'm saying? So you could have probably had like 2-3 bets that cash, just depending on the line that you got. What you think about that game yesterday, last night, Junior?
I think that the other day I was going back and forth with somebody on Twitter, and you DM me and you're like, yo, don't be arguing with these guys, man. Just you're wasting your time. And it just reminds me that a couple of months ago, one of the biggest Twitter arguments that I got into was when I said Russell Westbrook is really not that good. He's good, like, in theory, but when it matters, when it really counts most, he's going to disappoint you. Yo, when I don't even have words to describe how despicable Russell Westbrook was yesterday. Like, he is just not. I mean, at this time last year, everybody was like, yo, Chris Paul is untradeable. Who the hell in their right mind would trade for Russell Westbrook right now? That's all I got to say about that.
No, that contract, yeah.
I still think it was an upgrade from Chris Paul. You can say what you want. Russell Westbrook still, he has bad games, but the first game he looked terrific. So it's really one of those. So he's inconsistent. I'll say that. But the passionate, the intensity of Russell Westbrook, I love the way that he plays. Like I say, it isn't always there. But, you average a triple-double for, 3 straight years. You're a damn good player, in my opinion, whether he stole a few rebounds or not. But, yeah, he knew he had a bad game. He said he come out with the prison jumpsuit, said, man, I'm just damn near look like I'm just running around out there, man. So
his jump shots in prison.
Nobody can tell me that Russell Westbrook was a clear upgrade from Chris Paul, and I think you can see. I think you'll be able to tell in these playoffs so far. You saw what Chris Paul did the past couple of years, or at least last year in the playoffs. If it wasn't for him, they would have got past the Warriors. So that's the only thing I got to say about that. What did you think about that game real quick, Jordan, last night?
One of the trends that I kind of wish I would have looked at earlier is the Lakers have just been horrible in second halves throughout the bubble and not great in the playoffs either. And that was pretty much showed last night. They have, I think, the second worst net rating of second half teams during the last 8 seeding games. And their offensive rating, I think, is only averaging about 106 points per 100 possessions in the second half of their games in the playoffs. That being said, if their defense shows up, they've shown that they can overwhelm their offensive woes and droughts. But that being said, like, they're not going to be able to play like they did coming out of halftime and ever in this playoff if they expect to win by. They have to improve.
Yeah, Jordan. I'm sorry, man, but I think it's somebody in the background that is breaking you up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But you good though. You good, my guy. Let's get to the games today, man. We got the Celtics versus the Raptors here. Raptors open up as -2. Now the line is flipped. Celtics -1.5. Total open up at 212.5. Now sitting at 212. Like I say, series tied up at 2-2. It's a whole new series now. Raptors have all the momentum. What you got in this one, Junior?
I really, first of all, on Saturday's show, after Teddy said he's on the Celtics Monday, I said, I'm pretty sure that I said, me too, I'm on the Celtics Monday, book it. Well, you could take that book and light it on fire because I ain't putting no money on these Celtics right now. I'm not putting money on the Raptors either. I just think I gotta wait and see. I think this is a 3-game series. Whoever's making threes is obviously the team that comes out on top because both teams are really struggling offensively. The Celtics are averaging like 102 points a game. The Raptors are averaging like just under 100 a game. But the Celtics have gone cold from 3, and the Raptors have started making shots. So it's just basically about who's going to make shots. I just think that one of the things that the Celtics are going to have to figure out is who's their best 7-man rotation. Because if you look at the Raptors' minutes, the Raptors have cut off their bench now. They're playing 7 dudes, and that's it. Whereas the Celtics, because there's something interesting, a good point that Teddy made on Saturday. If you were drafting between these two teams, the first 3 picks would be Celtics, obviously, right? It would be Browne, Tatum, and Kemba Walker. But when you look at the rest of the roster, ain't nobody on Boston getting minutes on if they were a Raptor other than Marcus Smart. Tice ain't getting minutes. Cantor ain't getting minutes. Ojale, Wanamaker, Brad, all these guys are, they're all right. But they're not that great, and I think that's the great equalizer in this series right now. Both teams are playing insane defense, so the under might be a look, but that number is still pretty low. So I'm just going to stay away from this game and just try to learn as much as I can going into the next game, and I'll probably have someone on that.
Got you. What you think about this one, Jordan? The total, every game has went under so far. Jordan, the total keeps coming down. Could this be the one that goes over? What you think, Jordan?
That was exactly what I was thinking. So you look at the first 2 games, we're at 218. Game 3, 216. The game 4, 215.5, and now we're all the way down to 212. It's hard for me to chase that because of the correction that we've seen, and I was all ready to go under in the first half of this one, but now it's at 104.5, and that's gone up. So there's a lot of people seemingly at least a lot of sharp money thinking that the first half at least could see a little bit more scoring. We've seen the Celtics be pretty successful offensively in the first half of this one. But the problem is the Raptors, I think if you're betting the under here, have played really, really fast in the first half so far in these playoffs, especially in this series. So it's hard for me to bet a total here, because theoretically you're right. The over should be a pretty good play here in this one. But a Game 5 scenario with everything on the line here, tied series, you got to think that more defense is coming here too. So it's just that it's really conflicting to me too, because you're right. I want to take advantage of the over here in the first half, but it's just I could easily see both these teams holding each other under 50 points in the first 24 minutes. So I'm very hesitant here on this one to bet either side of this total, but it's intriguing nonetheless. I'd like to chase the steam a little bit in this full game because you have to think that the second half is going to be a lot lower scoring than the first. Potentially, you could see a potential where the first half goes over, full game goes under. But you're right; these numbers, man, like Junior said, they're tough to bet after 4 straight unders to go under for a 5th straight one.
Exactly. That's why you see the total steady coming down there, Jordan. But sometimes you kind of get contrarian. It might be so. The teams know that they might have to pick up the pace a little bit. Obviously, shooting, is a big deal. It's just the pace that they play at when it gets to. That in playoffs, I'm not one to take the overs, man. It had to be a certain situation, but I just think that playoff basketball will goes to the under. Obviously, you've had a huge line adjustment here, pretty much 6 points, 6 full points from the first game, from game 1. So be real interesting to see. Junior, I wanted to ask you a question. One thing stood out to me that you said that the Raptors had pretty much been playing their bench. Siakam played the whole second half. I think the last 3 games, Lowry is having to log a lot of minutes. Do you think that comes into play at some point in this series?
I think it might, especially for Kyle Lowry, because other than this season, Kyle Lowry's had a lot of nagging injury. basically try to take a charge every other play, you're bound to get hurt. Also, he was driving the Celtics crazy last game. I'm sure he was driving Jay crazy. Just kept dropping on the ground, but I think, especially the one that Jason Tatum, where he that left arm, really kind of sealed the game for them. So, Van Vliet and Lowry are playing heavy minutes.
Junior, I hate to sorry to cut you off, brother, but we can barely hear you, brother. Your mic might have been disconnected.
Is that better?
Yeah, way better. Damn, there you go, Junior.
Sorry about that. So what I was saying is that Lowry and Van Vliet are playing heavy minutes, and that could be a problem for the Raptors. I'm not going to lie to you, because you can't really play like 42 to 45 minutes a game and say it's not going to be a factor on one day's rest. But that being said, it's win or go home time, right? So I can't talk on both sides of my mouth. I'm criticizing Coach Bud for not playing Giannis. And by the way, did y'all notice that a reporter asked Giannis, "Hey Giannis, you only played 35 minutes the other day. Could you have played more?" And the look on his face was like, "You damn well know I should have played more, but I'm gonna give you the politically correct answer to say, yeah, maybe." So it's win or go home time. I don't think you can reduce anybody's minutes right now. And me personally, I just think that every coach should shorten their bench in the playoffs, because you just got to ride your best players. You know what I mean? So if you're asking me, do I think that would I rather see Lowry play 42 minutes or get minutes from, Terrence Davis? Give me Lowry 42 minutes. Give me Van Vliet 43 minutes. You know what I mean?
Hey, Terrence Davis ain't been no pushover this year.
Yeah,
I know
good
he
now.
and Lowry.
But I'm just saying.
Lowry, but he ain't no pushover there. You can't just disrespect the guy like that. I get what you're saying.
The Celtics are giving. If I'm the Celtics, I'm a Celtics fan. I don't want to see Brad Wanamaker on the court, dog. Brad Wanamaker has no business in a playoff game yet. Maybe at some point in his career, but the Celtics got a lot of guys. Semi Ojeleye and all these guys. Okay, keep playing them then.
Yeah, be interesting to see, man. I mean, it's bench. You got to play your bench guy, because one thing I can tell you for sure, especially with Kemba Walker's knees, there's no way in hell he can play the whole game or even 40+ minutes. So they're not pushing him balls through. Maybe for one game, but you got to have Wanamaker. And I mean, he's a savvy veteran. Wanamaker, and I don't know if y'all know about Wanamaker, but he's been playing professional basketball for a while now. It's only his second year in the NBA, but he's been playing pro ball for a while. But I mean, it was just a question. What do you think, Jordan? You look at the minutes played by these Raptors guys, like Junior said, it's pretty much they having to play their starting five like 40 minutes a game with the obsession of Gasol, because they know he'll get his ass cooked out there if he's out there that many minutes.
Yeah, Gasol way past the point in his career he's playing 40 minutes in a playoff game. But no, I mean it definitely could catch up to you in a series like this. But I kind of agree with Junior. I mean, like if you're a successful NBA coach and you don't have anywhere between like a 8, maybe like if you're the Clippers, like a 9-man playoff rotation, like you're just not gonna win, because your best players need to be on the court 38 to 40 minutes a game, and if you're Toronto, they need to be 40+. So I mean, you gotta ride it until it's one of those things, like they have no other option. Like I think that's the point that Junior was trying to make. Like it'd be nice to say, yeah, let's get these guys down just to below 40 minutes and give them at least 8 to 9 minutes a game and rest. But legitimately for this Raptors team in this year's playoffs, they just can't do that. So I mean, they got to ride them until they can't go no more, and we'll see how long that lasts. We're gonna get a real good indicator, like Junior said, of what's in store for Game 6 with Watch It Tonight. So I think it'll be interesting to see if we do see a kind of a lapse in that Raptors defense because of the heavy legs.
Now, one player I don't want to see, and this is the last thing I want to say about this, for Grant Williams. I'm sorry, bro, but not he. Now, one thing I say, he shouldn't be getting playing time. He shouldn't be getting a single fucking minute in this year. I'm sorry, excuse my language. Sorry, Jordan, but you know what I'm saying? I got my son over, but still, man, he should not be getting minutes. I can understand Wanamaker and Robert Williams III, maybe even an Ojeleye. I mean, I'm not a Ojeleye hater, but Grant Williams, you got to keep your ass on the bench. I'd rather see Cantor. I'd rather see Taco Fall. You got to keep Grant Williams' ass on the bench, but that's just the way I look at it, man. Well, you know what I'm saying? We'll see today. It's a brand new series, a coin flip game. It could go either way. I wouldn't argue off either side, to be honest, which is a clear coin flip game. This next game, you know what I'm saying, we might get a little bit more little nice info for this one. But any last thoughts on this one, guys?
I got nothing on this game, to be honest. Like I said, I really want to see if the defense holds up, especially from Toronto. But I got no plays on this one.
Got you. Let's get to the next one, man. We got the Clippers versus the Nuggets here. The Clippers, there was a little bit of an adjustment line for the adjustment. Obviously, after the Nuggets smacked them boys up like that, they're not finna just put a 9 back out there. It was Clippers minus 7.5 first, and obviously Jokic is listed as questionable yesterday. It's always a bit fishy to me when they do it the day before, in my opinion, because it's really all on the Nuggets, really, because he's not ruled out. It is a sprained right wrist. It is a shooting hand, but just always when they do it the day before, then they kind of know that they want to get money on the other side. The Clippers here favored by 9. Now we know they have been one of the best bounce back teams in the league this year, especially here in the bubble. Be interesting to see if they can bounce back tonight. It's kind of a carbon copy from the Clippers and the Mavs series. Even though the Nuggets aren't the Mavs, I mean, you could argue that their defense is a little bit better than my Mavs team. So we saw the Clippers win the first game, cover, second game, lost outright. Then now here we again for another bounce back. What you think about this one, Jordan? And any look on the total? Total opened up at 221, down to 220 with the Jokic news.
Yeah, I'll touch on that here in just a second, but I want to touch on something you just said, and you said it in the open as well when we were getting ready to talk about this one, is the motivation factor, and it's something we've touched on many times so far throughout this bubble process. And the Clippers seem to be just one of those teams where if they don't really have a vocal leader. Kawhi doesn't say much. You can say what you want about Paul George and his leadership skills, but like this team, for some reason, I don't know if this is a Doc Rivers problem or what, but it just somehow just lays an egg. And coming off of the way they performed in Game 2, I think that is enough motivation for this team for me to potentially lean towards them in this game and make the course corrections that they need to. That being said, they have to find a way to slow down Jamal Murray. And that being said, that's one of the reasons why I don't know if I can touch the under here, because if Jokic doesn't play and we get a lot of like Mason Plumlee or small ball lineups with Jeremy Grant at the 5 or whatever, that's going to mean a quicker pace, I think, from the Nuggets. That being said, I think Jokic is going to play. I can't see him missing this game, but I'd be a little surprised, I think, to see him miss the game. But if he is out, that would blow the total up for me as well, because I agree. I think the under is a good look, but I think the opposite is happening if Jokic plays. I think the Nuggets look to play up in pace, and I don't think the Clippers would shy away from that at all, which could potentially blow that out of the water. That's the one thing I'm looking. I think that's why you see the first half total up here at 113 and going up at 113.5. Like they've been playing a little faster in the first half, and then the defense kind of settles in the second half. So I'm real weary of that. But if Jokic plays, I'd actually think that would help the under more than if he's out. It would help the under.
Got you. You kind of getting me away from my next question, Jordan, but it's all good. I'm still going to ask you, Junior, what you think about this game, my guy? What you think about this one, the Clippers versus Nuggets?
Yeah, man. Clippers in my pocket, -5. I think this is a bounce back J spot if there's ever been one. I watched that whole game, and I'm not fooled by what I saw. I saw Denver come out cooking in the first quarter. They scored 44 points in the first quarter, 38 points in the second half. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Lou Williams were combined like 17 for like 56 or some nonsense like that. You're just not going to see all of those things. The Clippers were also like 20 for 29. They lost the game by 9 points and missed 9 free throws. They couldn't make a three. I just don't think you're going to see that. I think the Clippers defense actually did show up after the first quarter, and that's kind of more of an indication of what we're going to see throughout this series. I still think it's Clippers in 5. I don't think Denver wins another game, personally. Yeah, I mean, I want to give you guys more analytics than that, but I just honestly believe that the Clippers are the better team. Obviously, they were sleeping in the first quarter. They woke up in quarters 2 through 4. Now, obviously, they pulled within 5 at one point, and then Denver went on a 10-1 run. It just seemed like the Clippers couldn't really get stops in the precise moments where they needed it. But something that I saw at the end of the game yesterday that really convinces me that the Clippers are going to come out and blitz these guys. In the last 6 minutes of the game, the Clippers took out Zubac, took out Montrezl Harrell, and put JaMychal Green at the 5. And Jokic did not look comfortable chasing JaMychal Green out there by the three-point line. That lineup for the Clippers with JaMychal Green at the 5 and a bunch of wings around him, I think that could give the Clippers some serious give the Nuggets some serious problems in this game today. So I just think if the Clippers come out with a better first quarter, they're going to put their foots on these boys' necks real early. So give me Clippers -5 in my pocket.
Exactly. Now they got the motivation. Jordan, the question that I was going to ask you was that if Jokic is ruled out, what you think? What was you going to think as far as total inside? But what do you think that you think that the total will go up if Jokic is out? You think that bodes well for the over?
I mean, it goes with exactly what Junior was just talking about. JaMychal Green is a three-point shooting big man. They would have to match up with him if they do go with that lineup, theoretically more. I wouldn't assume it's going to be for a huge amount of the game, but it's going to be for long stretches in the second and late in the third quarters. I mean, so, I think if Jokic is out, his passing ability, the way they run their offense through him at times, like, that definitely could make you believe that I think the under could be the play if he's out. But that being said, I think if he's out, I think we're overthinking this here for just a second. If Jokic is ruled out, just smash the Clippers. One. Secondly, especially that first half, that they've been extremely good in the playoffs first half offensively too. So I like the play from Junior here. But with the fact that they would have to, I think, speed up the pace, I think that alone is enough for me to lay off the under if Jokic is ruled out. I know it kind of you got to think about it. I think for both ways here, not only from like. Yeah, their defense would get worse, I think, without Joker. There's a lot of things I think playing into that. But like we talked about this earlier, I think it's hard for me to bet an over in a full game situation like this, especially with two teams that can play defense. Because you got to think if they mess around and play up in pace and play small ball in the first half, things might change in the second half depending on who's winning or who's losing by a big margin potentially. So I'm hesitant to make a call on this total right now until we know all about the Nuggets personnel things right now. But yeah, I think initial instinct. I think if Jokic is out, I think that helps. I think you might see this total dip down a little bit and then get hammered right before tip off to go back up on the over.
Got you. Yeah, I mean, I don't play totals. I mean, somebody else could come in and obviously, if Plumlee does come in or if they start granted their position or do something else, he'll get a lot more speed. Jokic even says himself, "Hey, I have to run this slow because I'm not that fast. That's why I play so slow." But the Nuggets pretty much run them their whole offense through Jokic, man. It's Murray and Jokic, and it's them the pick and roll. So I really think that's going to throw a huge wrench into their offense. Like I say, it's no play on the total for me. But yeah, the article right up today was on the Clippers first half. We got a little something on that. You know what I'm saying? The Clippers first half, they're going to come out here and smack them boys up in the first half. It's that simple. Well, it's going to take them first quarter, but the way that they've looked here in the bubble, they're the worst first quarter team, and even in the first game where they smacked them up by 20-some points, it was still tied after the first quarter. So I'm not taking Clippers first quarter. Got a little something on them in the first half. Clippers should come out here and smack them up. I did stay away from the full game. You might get an even better number if Jokic is out. Any closing remarks on this one, my guy, Junior?
If Jokic is out, I'm going to be putting a couple futures, free bands, as in futures, on these Clippers because, like I said, I don't see the Nuggets winning another game, in my opinion. The first quarter was great for the Nuggets, but that's their best case scenario. Whereas the Clippers came to play in two of the four quarters, three of the four quarters, if you want to call it that. They just couldn't. Their shot makers just couldn't make shots, and there's no way that I believe that Kawhi Leonard comes out with another 13 points. And all you need is either Lou Williams or Paul George to show up. I'm all over the Nuggets. I'm all over the Clippers here. Nuggets are donezo.
Got you. What's up, Jordan? Recap them with your plays, my brother. Leans, whatever. Leans on any totals. You guys know that we don't have that. Me and Junior really kind of stay away from totals. So, Jordan, if you got any leans on the totals for today for my guys, let them know and then break them off with your official plays, brother.
Yeah. I got nothing official today. Staying away from the full games, definitely. If I had to make one play today on a lean, I would probably say since you guys are going with that first half on the Clippers, I might think that first half over at 113 in the Clippers and Nuggets game could be pretty good. The Clippers are going to continue to play up in pace, and if Jokic is out, I think that may be what gets me on it, just because like whoever it is that fills in for that center position, will allow them to play a little quicker. So I think that over for 113 and a half, whatever it is in the first half of that second game, I think is probably a pretty good look. You know what? Screw it. Let's make it official. I'm gonna go lock it in right now. Let's do it. Talk to myself into
it. Lock it in, man. Don't be scared.
We're doing it as we
like
speak
it
right now,
hey,
baby.
Sprinkle a little something on it.
We got to have a little action tonight. I can't go 2 nights in a row with no action here.
Nah, don't get it twisted. Jordan,
yeah.
I ain't forcing you to make no plays, my guy, because, hey, can't nobody force me to make none.
We're doing it for the people.
I'm happy with my cheddar, man. I'm good. So I can't, I mean, if I don't want to force a play, I don't have to. It's that simple. But I'm not the one that chases action, man. So if it's a day like yesterday, I mean, hey, if I don't want to play nothing, I don't have to, man. It's that simple. But what you got? Junior? Well, any leans today? What's your official plays, my guy?
Yeah, Celtics Raptors. I mean, I think the Celtics probably still win the series, but I just don't see any advantage for either one of these teams in this game. I don't want to force a play, so I'm just going to stay off of it and just watch and learn, see what I can figure out for the next game. And in terms of the Clippers-Nuggets series, I'm sticking to what I said before the series started. Clippers in 5. They're going to send a message today that they mean business and just put these boys away early.
Got you. Yeah, and if the whoever you like tonight in the game 5, Celtics and Raptors, pretty much you might as well just take them for the series prize. 9 times out of 10, whoever wins that game 5 is a real pivotal game. 9 times out of 10, they go on to win the series. It's real tough to lose. It's real tough to win the last 2 games. You know what I'm saying? The back-to-back is really tough, man. And especially when the other team only needs 1. So 9 times out of 10, the winner of game 5 goes on to win the series. If the Celtics don't win tonight, I can tell you for sure, they are done for sure. So they'll definitely be an interesting game to see. I mean, you can always make a live bet as well. You don't have to bet the game before. And like I say, the game them been going under, man. It's tough to bet it over there, but I'm sure some contrarians out there going to bet the over. And yeah, article play today for those that follow the articles. It was on Clippers first half, so I'm aligned with Junior there. If Jokic is ruled in or out, obviously you'll see some happen with the line. Might go up to 10.5. He's out. If he's in, it'll probably go back down to the 7.5 that it was supposed to be, maybe 8. So that first half might drop back down to the 4.5. But you know what I'm saying? Whether you guys ride with us or fade, man, we appreciate all y'all for watching. Hit the link in the description, man. I forgot to tell y'all that at the beginning. Hit the link in the description. SBR Picks /NBA. Check out all the articles we have over there. Line shop at SBR Odds. At sportsreview.com. You know what I'm saying? Check out the odds page. Make sure you're getting the best lines. You know what I'm saying? And whether it's money line, total, whatever. That half a point could really matter, man. It really could. So y'all hit the like button and subscribe, man, if you guys like the content, and come back and join us tomorrow, man. Only 2 games, so you know what I'm saying, around 30-minute show, but we'll be back tomorrow for sure. Thank you guys for jamming with J Money.